There's so many features inside the Panasonic lineup of mirrorless cameras that do not get the love and attention that they deserve. And even though the Panasonic S5 wasn't the first camera in the Panasonic lineup to get this feature, I thought it would be quite interesting to talk about since I use it a lot for self-filming and for getting B-roll of product shots, etc. when I'm feeling lazy and don't want to use a stabilizer. And that feature is, of course, live cropping. Now, for you guys that do not know what this is or have never used it before, it's essentially this feature inside Panasonic mirrorless cameras where you can essentially do a Ken Burns effect in camera. So what that means is you sort of make a cropped sort of frame and then another crop frame, and then when you press record, it'll go from that one crop frame to another, animating either zooming in, zooming out, or trucking left to right, etc. I mean, there's many different ways that you can do it, but essentially it allows you to move or animate your image in camera as opposed to doing it in editing with like keyframing or actually the Ken Burns effect in your editor. Now, I know that a lot of people will be saying, oh, you know, well, if you can do it in editing, then what's really the point of this feature in camera? And well, I'm someone that absolutely loves to find any little thing that can help to speed up my process when editing, and keyframing can sometimes be a little bit annoying when you just want to do a cut. So therefore, getting this sort of animation or this movement in camera really does help out to like get the time down when you are editing. With live cropping, unfortunately, you are limited to 1080p as your resolution. You cannot shoot 4K because of course you're cropping into that 4K image to make the sort of moving effect. But to be honest, I think that's absolutely fine. And when I use it with other 4K clips in a timeline, I don't find that the difference of quality is distracting. And I actually think it still looks really good because I believe you still get 10-bit color. So yeah, I've got no complaints there. So what good is this feature to you? Well, like I said before, I use live cropping a lot when I'm self-filming and when I'm filming B-roll shots. So let's say, for example, I want to film myself doing something, and of course I'm the one in the shot, so I cannot be manning the camera myself. Then it just helps to add a little bit more interest to what would be an otherwise boring, locked off, static shot. So I find it's really useful if you are someone that likes to get in front of the camera, or if you are, you know, quite far away from the camera and can't move it yourself. And of course, with product B-roll, it's also really good because it means without using any stabilizers and stuff, you're able to get some really nice sliding shots of, let's say, details of a product, or even push-ins or push-outs. Again, without the need of doing it in editing, and of course, without the need of a gimbal. So therefore, if you are feeling quite lazy, but do still want to get some movement in your shot, then live cropping for you will be an absolutely fantastic feature to explore. To access this feature, go to the Others menu in the Video tab and then select Live Cropping. It will give you the option to record for either 20 seconds or 40 seconds. Of course, you can select either and then stop recording as soon as you have what you need, but if you want the movement to be slower or last longer, then 40 seconds is your maximum. You will then be greeted by two crop boxes, and then you can go ahead and move them around, making them bigger or smaller, etc., depending on whether you're going for a zoom in, zoom out, or sliding/trucking movement. Once you press record, the movement will then take place over the period of time that you set previously, and it's as simple as that. So I think it's a really nice feature found inside Panasonic mirrorless cameras that not many people really utilize or talk about, and it definitely saves you a lot of time in editing so that you don't have to keyframe your shot or use a Ken Burns effect in editing, and it just makes your life a lot easier when you're trying to make those boring static shots a little bit more interesting and a little bit more dramatic. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it somewhat useful, entertaining, or interesting, and if you did, then please consider subscribing to the channel because it helps me out massively, and I do make a lot of content here about the Panasonic S5 and the L-mount ecosystem in general, so if that's your thing, then this channel is definitely for you. So yeah, hopefully I shall see you in the next one. Thank you.